you are here. And let me know what instrument you're playing. Soprano ukulele, concert ukulele, tenor ukulele, baritone ukulele, guitar. Let me know what you have so that I can cater my lesson to you. And if you're watching on the replay, still let me know. Like if you're not watching live, let me know in the comments below, because that helps me to know who's watching these and I can make plans for future lessons too. So today is about left hand muting. And I think it's a good thing to talk about right hand muting and left hand muting and what those mean. And I use the term left hand muting very loosely, because there are some exceptions where people are playing on the other way. So technically, this should be called maybe fretboard hand muting. But just for the ease of communication, I've called it left hand mute. Um, but this is going to happen. Hi, Kiara. You are coming right in a few weeks to California. I haven't talked to you in a little bit. So today I'm playing the Ohana custom ukulele. This is a borrowed ukulele. So if you come to my events like Strum in the Desert, everyone gets really nice goodie bags that are provided by Ohana. And so in gratitude to them for doing that, I show off their ukes on my page. So this has a colibri, a hummingbird on a flower, and abalone all around the headstock. And this looks like mother of pearl on the ohana. And then it's got flowers all along the fretboard, and then another colibri, another hummingbird. And then this is the ukulele. And the back is so beautiful too. Look at this. So pretty. So if somebody can link the custom shop in the chat, I'll make sure and link them as well on the description box a little bit later. So left hand muting refers to fretboard hand muting. And by the way, this is for sale. I forgot to mention, this is for sale. This is not for sale on my shop. It's for sale on the Ohana custom shop. And I just give marketing in exchange for their kindness. So, Dios mío, llegó tarde otra vez. No, estás bien, estás bien. This is a tenor, and then this one they set up with the passive pickup so that it can be connected to devices like UAS is real, like an amplifier, for example. So I have one under my desk, so I could just hook it up. Or if you want to record like your progress and you want to record into your computer and edit, then you can have that as well. So nice functionality. Okay, so let's left hand mute. We're gonna start with chord C and how to left hand mute chord C, and then we'll go through other chords, and if you have a request for a chord, then we will do it. So a left hand mute is so handy when you're doing songs that are reggae, but it's not just isolated to reggae, but it's the best way I can introduce it. So for example, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing gonna be alright. Singing don't worry. Right there, I'm left hand muting. So let's start with a little bit of reggae. So go to a C chord, go ahead and strum it. Now, if you were to lift off your ring finger slightly, pick just the string A, lift off the finger, and you'll see that the string stops vibrating. Try it now. So basically hold the C chord position, but only pick on A, and then lift off just a little bit with the fretboard hand. I'm not completely coming off. That's not the goal here. It's just to release the squeeze. Go ahead and keep trying it until you get this sound. It's like, boop. That's what you want. That's the essence of the left hand mute. when you have a chord with 4 fingers on it, like E, I know we don't love E, but for left hand muting, E is perfect. Because when you hold the E and you release the squeeze, sound is gone. It's perfect. Now C is very challenging with the left hand mute, and it's so funny because we don't think of C chord on ukulele as a challenging chord. So strum and release, but the other strings are still vibrating. So we have to get creative with how we stop those strings. And so what I like to do is using my peace fingers to gently rest over the fret 1 and 2. And to know if you're doing this correctly, strum while you're in the loose position. Loose, and then open and strum C. Mute, strum on the muted strings. If you're getting this, you're squeezing too much on the C. By the way, everyone who's here, if you could please hit the like button. Last time that we were live, we did hit 100 likes, which was so cool to see. And as a reward for the 100 likes, we're gonna get a baritone ukulele challenge. So I'm very excited for that to come to us. Hi, Melinda. So you all said it's 57 days until the LA Uke Fest. Can somebody drop the link to the LA Uke Fest? The LA Uke Fest is September 20. Somebody let me know if it's 22nd, 23rd. It's that weekend. And I will be teaching in the free section. So if you're not sure about going to the festival, come to the free class that I'm going to teach. And then once you're there, you can decide if you want to go into the paid portion and see what I'm going to do there. There are some, thank you, Karen, some incredible musicians that are gonna be there. I can't wait to see them. So, and I know Mitch is working really hard to organize this event and make it the best ukulele festival. So, yeah, September 21st through 23rd, yes. If you're still on the fence, if you're unsure, like, just come. We have a group chat too. If somebody can drop the link to the group chat. We're chatting on Telegram about where everyone is staying, how everyone's meeting. So if you're afraid of being alone, you won't be alone because a bunch of us are going alone to be together. Like Kiara. Kiara is coming from Europe and alone, but we're in that group chat and we're in this group, in this community, and she'll be meeting some people she's never met with that she's going to spend the weekend with, and some people that we've already met at other events. So come out. Okay, so let me recap what I've just said about the C chord. We did start with the most challenging chord because it's usually what we call the easiest. So go ahead and hold the C chord. Thank you. Pick it. Come to friends. Hi, Anna. Pick this one. And then alone but not truly alone, exactly. After you've picked it, release it. You can tell by my nail when I'm flexing it and then when I'm not. But I'm still touching the string. That's called the left hand mute, okay? The problem is when we strum, we've only stopped one string. So how do we stop the other ones? We gently rest the hand over them. So we're gonna strum with it all ringing and then muted. Ringing and then muted. You know, I've been thinking of France the past few days, and just today actually, Danny, because I like showing Danny the world map on Apple, and I like showing her where our friends are, you know, like Boris and Lisa and Yoshi, and we'll look at the map and see what time it is. And so today I was showing her France. I don't think she knows anyone in France. Like, none of the people she's met that have come here are there, but I would love to go. So go ahead and try and strum and then mute. Friends, talk to me, please. Okay. So you're gonna do, thank you, Juan Javier Soto. Let me know if you're getting this down already. If you're not, let's scratch the C chord because it is the most challenging one. Let's go to one that I think is the easiest. Go to A minor. strum A minor, and then put the ring and pinky over the strings. It's the equivalent of you doing this. You could sing her French nursery rhymes. I should start putting French like programming for her and stuff. So hello, if you've just joined us, we're learning how to left hand mute. If you're using something like a guitar or a baritone ukulele, please let me know so that I can adjust the lesson and adapt it and show you what it looks like on guitar. I think in this chat right now I saw lots of ukuleles, which is why I have an ukulele on the screen right now. So let me know if the A minor is coming out. So go ahead and strum on the muted. It should sound like this, kind of like the Pac-Man. Right, just do a down strum on the mute. Lift the ring and pinky. And thank you, J-Man. And let it ring. And then, and just try doing that. Muted, open, muted, open, muted, open. My screen won't. Muted, open, muted, open, muted. Just do this. If you're not sure about like, oh, when you pick up your instrument, what kind of warm-ups can you do? This one. Hi, Angela. Okay, you're on baritone ukulele, so this is your E minor. So for you, it's echo minor. For the other people in the group, it's alpha minor. But still, you can do the same thing. Another chord that is very easy for my baritone ukuleles in the room, it's C chord. For my GCEA ukuleles in the room, it's F. Okay, so go to an F. Same idea, muted with the ring and pinky. Really, it's the ring that's doing the work, but this doesn't look very aesthetic. So you put the ring and pinky. And this is already a reggae rhythm. If you want to make it more advanced, then make it 8 notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and only on 2 and 4 do you let it ring. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. And this is the beginnings of a reggae rhythm. You just gotta drag it a little bit. Maybe 2 and 4 and might be nice. That's what it is. It's 2 and then 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's what I like. Okay, let's go to request a chord here. Let's try G. Oh, G is nasty. G for GCEA ukuleles. For baritones, this is called D. That one is so nasty. Okay, try and figure it out on your own without my help. See what you do. This is where I break one of my rules. I have a few rules. Where's my super cute cat? Actually, I don't know. She usually likes being here for the live streams. I think she likes the sound of the instruments playing. Karen got it, yeah. I think she likes the sound of the instruments playing, so she always comes to the live streams. Maybe she'll be here soon. She might already be napping. In my dining room, there's a chair, a really comfy chair with cushions that like gets a little bit of sun, and she's been napping there, so I'm guessing that's where she is. Okay, so for the D on baritone ukulele / G on GCEA ukulele, Karen hit it. I always tell you to keep your thumb on the back center. The reason I tell you this is because I don't want you to bend the wrist and then infuriate or like kind of get your carpal tunnel reacting, or to cause carpal tunnel, or like if you have rheumatoid arthritis, aggravate. Thank you, Maritza. I don't want to aggravate your carpal tunnel or RA, and so that's why I tell you not to do the thumb on top, because if you do the thumb on top, I'm afraid that the wrist's gonna be touching too, or the palm of the hand. So I always ask you to drop the thumb, because to me that's the safest way to communicate with people that I can't physically see. Are you drinking cacao? Yes. Thank you, Lori. So that's why I tell you that. However, if you are gonna break the rules, you should know the rules. So the rule technically is keep the wrists healthy. That's really the rule. Think about your wrist health. Thinking about that, can you bring the thumb over and still keep a nice wrist position? And a nice wrist position is where you can move your fingers still and you don't feel pain. You don't feel like your agility is compromised. Here's an exercise I've done with a bunch of you already. If you bend your wrists and try to make a fist really strong, and then unfold or extend and try to make a fist, you realize how much more power you have. So make sure you're in a position where you still have power. So that's one position for people who play in this way. I'm seeing some recommendations come in. Thank you, Kiara. Why not use the left pinky to mute with G? Let me see. It could work if you angle up or into it. I have another solution. And for those of you who are newbies, like newer, I was doing the left pinky. Oh, Gareth, that's cool. I feel like Gareth, as someone who plays an orchestra instrument, your pinky is really developed. So I think that's something that we can learn from the orchestra world, is to develop that pinky. So if you choose to use the pinky, that's a really great habit to start, because you are going to train a finger that we don't usually train to do anything specific other than hold our phone or copy the ring finger. I need to tune. I feel this getting out of tune already. Let's see. Do you hear the Brody tuning it? I have another way. Exactly. Ali got it. That's my favorite way for doing this. Maybe this is where you're heading. Yes, exactly. Jim, you're here. Hi. I was thinking about you because you brought me a shirt and I was wearing it. Okay, very nice. So, by the way, if you do have RA or carpal tunnel or any kind of like wrist injury, and the most painful part of you, and I'm sure for you, is the tuning. This is the Rode tuner. It is the most expensive tuner, yes. But if for you, you're fine spending that on your hobbies, check it out. It tunes, and then I use this mostly for winding. So on my uke shop, I replace strings for people, and you know the winding that into those strings, it's like the most tedious part. So this winds the strings for me. So again, if you're okay spending on your hobbies and you want that to be easier and to program all your instruments, you can program all your instruments even if they have funky tuning. Rode is a really great one. Okay, so yes, this is where I'm going with a G. If you go to an F chord, but instead, you just go to smoosh it. I like that. Go to an F chord, but instead, and for my baritone, that's a C chord. Instead of playing it with the index and the peace fingers, play it with the middle and ring. I know it's not comfortable, but I'm going somewhere with this, okay? Yes, Karen just added the Rode link there. Scooch it down and add your index finger as on the first fret. We're not gonna stay here. If this is really painful for you, try to readjust. Bring the ukulele forward, and then with this finger pull it back, and that should help those strings ring. Don't make every single string ring in the beginning. Just get more. This is F sharp. So those of you who have been to my music theory classes, you know you have F and then F sharp, and what's after F sharp? G. And so when you have 4 fingers on a chord, that's the best place for left hand muting. So mute, strum, mute, strum. And if you know your chromatic scale, then you can get any major chord, right? You can get G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C. It's really awesome to try that. Another chord that works really well with left hand muting is E for baritone ukulele, A for my GCEA ukes. And those of you who have been to my theory class, I hope you're putting together the difference in the chords between baritone and GCEA. They're a fifth apart. What we play here, A, B, C, D, E. When we play this, G, A, B, C, D, right? They're a fifth apart. So those of you who have been to my theory classes, this is making more sense. Those of you who've never been to my theory class, don't worry. I'm currently planning a 30-day music theory challenge. Every September, I try to do some really big challenge that's going to be fun and get us back on a groove, because I feel like some of us lose our practice schedule or just like our time with our instrument. And September is the time where I try to kind of bring everybody back into it. So anyway, you make an F, bring it down and add a bar. That's F sharp, G. This could be challenging. It's easier if you have a good setup on your ukulele. Fluorocarbon strings can sometimes feel easier to press. The Aquila strings, when they're new, they can be kind of hard to press, difficult to press. But after some time, those break in really nice. So, but if it's just impossible for you right now, try 2 things. Go to the 5th fret and start the position there. Because the frets are closer together there, your hand doesn't have to open and squeeze. Do you know what I mean? Your hand can be in a more natural position for squeezing or for holding something tight. So try it here. Always make sure that thumb is on the back, giving you the pressure to push in so that you can do this motion. So pretty, right? And let me think. So if we calculate, this is F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, A sharp or B flat. Yeah. So on that note, let's try B flat, which on baritone ukulele is what? B flat, C, D, E, F. And B flat is a great chord for this. What does it go to? Does it go to the 4th? I forget what 3 little birds go to. Does it go to the 5th? I'm thinking. Let me know. Not from the B flat. For the B flat, where does it go to? I'm thinking. anyway, the point is, if you have 4 fingers on your fretboard, that's going to make left hand muting easier. So now let's go to a different shape that you can adapt and move anywhere. That's the 7th shape. So, oh, it's a D, so I should have gone to an E flat. It should have been singing down where I was just playing it in the key of B flat, so it would be B flat, E flat, and what was the other chord I'm transposing? F7. Another chord is your 7th chord. How do you mute that? So let's go to a C7. And you're going to use your hand. So C7 and now let's say you want to do a B7. Then there's a 30-day music theory in September. Yes. Hey, Anna teaches French. Okay, so anyone who's interested in learning French, Anna and I have been talking, and she is working on releasing content teaching French. Anna is a ukulele player, but also a French teacher, also a ukulele teacher, right? So if you're interested, let's go and support as she's getting started. She's been a part of the community for years now, 5-6 years. And as I'm sure there are some of you watching who maybe are on the shyer end of like being a part of the community. Maybe you don't comment on every post, or you don't post yourself very much, but you're here, you're watching, you're coming to the party. That's Anna as well. So the handle on Instagram is also the same, right? Anna teaches French. So if you would like to learn how to speak French, let's follow her channels. And Anna, I just released an ebook, and actually this goes for anyone who's trying to grow their Instagram audience. I just released what is called the Instagram Growth Guidebook, and these are things that I've learned in the 7 years that I've been doing this. Like if I were to start a new account, this is exactly how I would start it. Or Gareth, I'm just busy, not shy. Or if I were to edit someone's account, why mute versus checking? Good question. I'll come to that. If I were to guide someone through, like if I were to audit someone's page and say like, here are the things that I would change if it were me. Of course, everyone's idea of what is right is going to be different. This is just what has worked for me that I advise other people to. And it doesn't have to be because you have a business. It could be just because you're interested. So this is the book. And I mentioned my qualifications and stats just in case anybody is curious as to why I'm qualified to speak on this. And then the contents, like what is essential in a profile picture, what's essential in a username. Anna, you and I talked about this. What's essential in a bio, how to post and plan future posts and create a schedule, because sometimes when we're motivated, we post a lot and then we burn out and then we don't post anything. So how to kind of balance this. And then everybody talks about the algorithm. The most basic way I can explain the algorithm is if you show up on people's feeds. That's all it means. How to use comments, your stories, and your caption to show up on people's feeds so that you get eyes. And then some of the secrets that I've learned about collaborations, little hacks, and my mantras, things that I believe. And I did put at the risk of sounding superstitious. So if somebody can link the Buy Me a Coffee link, you can download it. It is $10. It's 36 pages long total. And from the friends who've read it, they say it's a very easy read. So if you're interested in growing on Instagram, not just because you have a business, but because you want to grow for a hobby or for fun. Thank you, Ali. You can download the book. I did price it at $10 so that it would be easy for anybody to buy. I thought that was a easy price. However, if you are in a position where $10 is impossible for you, send me an email, okay? Because if starting a side gig helps you get extra income, then that's what I would like. And then you just get to pay it forward. Thank you. Yeah, I wanted to price it and put it at a price point that was accessible. But again, if you are not in a position right now to spend $10, send me an email, bernadetteteachesmusic@gmail.com. All right, thank you. Karen has just added the link. Okay, so 7th chords. You have your C7, right? So ring and pinky do the job. Pinky. A7. The middle ring and pinky. That does the job. Now, the B7. A lot of us play B7 as frets from bass to floor 4, 3, 2, which on baritone ukulele, would this be a type of F7? Maybe an F sharp 7? This is not very applicable. So what you can do is lay down the index when you're muting. But it's not the neatest sound. So if you are willing to take the leap, play the full B7, which is a bar on the 2nd fret, and middle on the 3rd fret. And baritone ukulele, is this an F sharp 7 for you? Let me know. I think it is. Please add the links to the video since the chat goes away, then I may be able to find them. Yes. And Len and Angela are asking about what's the difference between chucking and muting. They're both types of mutes, and they're both types of percussive mutes, right? They're just done with different hands. One is done with the strumming hand, so like... I think the difference for me, I have to work today and all week, but I came to listen. Hi. Mary Jane, remind me, are you going to be at LA Uke Fest with us? I feel like you are, right? So, chucking. The difference I hear with muting is that you get a strum on muted strings. Whereas, all right, Maritza, tell your friend we say hi. Whereas on chucking, you're strumming on open vibrating strings and stopping them just for a second. So they're almost inverse or yin yang of each other, right? On the left hand mute, the strings are muted for most of the time unless you open it. With the chucking, Mike says it's more fun. The other thing about chucking is that you are getting a percussive sound with the hit. Whereas with left-hand muting, you're not doing that. Now, I love using left-hand muting for the blues. So let's do a 12-bar blues in the key of A. So we'll use A7. Gracias, Elias. Thank you. Let's all drop some blue emojis as a thank you to Elias for the super chat. Appreciate that. When you play C, then mute with the peace fingers. The ring finger on the A string should be released, right? Just slightly. But yes, because you want to mute that string too. Unless you're playing the song, Kiara, I think you'll know the title of the song. She asked me, son, if I grow up. House of Gold. If you're playing something like House of Gold, then you only want the C ringing and you want everything else muted. Yes. Thank you, Kira. So that is where you would want to still hold on to the C, Linda, if you were 21 Pilots. Thank you. Thank you. I knew you would know it. Did you request it? Is it because of you we did that? ¿Qué es mantras? Mantras es como algo que... Ya ves como los mexicanos tenemos muchos dichos. Como si te barren los pies no te vas a casar. Things like this. Mantras son como ideas que yo tengo de Instagram que no puedo comprobar que son ciertas, pero siento que lo son. So Elias just asked, what are mantras? And I said that, you know how Mexican people have a lot of sayings. I'm sure that everybody in every culture has a random saying that it's funny. So I gave the example of like Mexican people say that if you if you're sweeping and you sweep a woman's feet, like a single woman's feet, that she's not gonna marry. Or there's a thing that like if somebody says something bad, you throw salt over your shoulder to negate it, in order to make it not happen. There's just little funny things. So, yeah, the part of the book that says mantras, I said, these are things that I believe about Instagram that I can't prove they're right. So let me, going back to the ebook, let me read one of the mantras. Let me see. Okay. So this is a mantra that I can't prove helps you grow, and it seems counterproductive, but it works. So if you only focus on growing your audience and attracting new followers, you might neglect existing followers. So es tipo como folklore, exactly. So if I'm always thinking about growing into my next follower count, I will neglect the people that are already have chosen to follow, because I'm just thinking over here, I want new people, and the people that have been there are like, hey, we're here too, like, don't forget about us. So that's one of those things. Throughout the book, I also mentioned that because when you publish a new video or something on Instagram, it's not shown to all of your followers. Instagram doesn't want to risk losing people, or doesn't want to risk people closing the app. Instagram needs people on the app. And so what it does whenever you post something new is that it releases it to a test number of people. And if they respond to the post well, then it'll go to the next wave of people, a slightly larger audience. Again, these are my beliefs. If it performs well there, then it'll be released to people who are not in your audience and the rest of the people who are in your audience. So that's kind of how you start to go viral or to reach a wider audience. However, my belief is, who are the first people that it's shown to? My belief is it's the people who watch your stories. I think those are the people who see your post first. And so if you can't engage those people, then the video or the post is not going to go to the next level and reach the next type of person. And this applies for anyone, even if you're just documenting your ukulele journey, but you want to connect with other people who are doing the same. So here's a little simple thing. I say it in the book too. When you plan recording, a lot of people set up their, come to India, their camera angle like this. But if you and I were hanging out in person, would this be the angle that we have? No, right? So it's so important to make people feel like they're right there with you, and that you guys are face to face, as close to eye level as possible. Here I don't have the most ideal setup because I'm by my desk. Ideally, I would have you right here to be at perfect eye level, but I try to get close. But when you record like this, you're kind of sending your audience a message like I'm above you, which it's not a message I like sending. So I like to record eye level, which is like, I'm next to you, we're in the same room, we're playing together. It's what I try to do when I post videos on Instagram and YouTube. I want us to feel like we're in the same space. I always comment as well. I think that, yes, comments always help. Whatever you comment on, Instagram will show you again because you've shown them that you engaged with that account. So anyway, I wrote that book on social media for anyone who is interested in growing or in retaining their current audience. Okay, so B7, bar and middle finger. I think this is F sharp 7. And okay, now I'm changing the position of my camera. It is a good idea, you know. It's all of the things that we don't realize the messages we're sending. And then also, if you know that you have a resting face that is a little bit serious looking, people don't know, you know, that's you just resting. They might think that you're not welcoming. So also be aware of your face. And then another mistake I see done very often on social media, and I'm making it here sometimes as I'm doing this live stream, is that they look at themselves, because we all crave to make eye contact when we're talking to someone. So it's easy to look into our own eyes because that's what feels more natural. But when you record for social media, look into the green dot, and that will feel a lot more personal for the people watching. Anyway, those are some of the tips that are in the book. There's 36 pages. And I tried to pack every page with something. Even the final page has a tip. You have a nice face. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we talked about sevenths. We talked about the minor. So back to the minor. We need more minors. Another minor position. Okay, so go to C minor. Nothing on G, and 3rd fret on C, E, A. And this would be, I think, G minor for my baritone. Thank you. Add the ring finger on the 5th fret of G. Bye, Maritza. Again, this is a good one because we have a finger on all 4 strings. Chromatic scale up, C sharp. On the frets 4 and 6. Chromatic scale, that tells us that's a D on fret 7 and 5, 5, 5. So that's your minor shape that you can move around. Let me think of the other major shape. Okay, go to frets 5, 4, 3, 3. This is a G on baritone and a C on G, C, E, A ukulele. So very easy to adapt this one to go C sharp, D, D sharp, E. So we've got the 7th. Let's do another 7th chord. So we did B7, right? Mute strum like Fly Me to the Moon. Yeah? That's a great, Augusto Josie. That's a great point Josie brings up. A jazz strum. I'm thinking of the words. The jazz strum can sometimes sound detached. So this is what an attached strum would sound like. Let me go to the B7. Now detached. You can try it on an A7 if the B7 is not friendly for you. Attached, detached. So in music terminology, we call that detachment staccato. So so that can sound very jazzy, and I like doing that strum on Not Fly Me to the Moon. Isn't She Lovely? I do it when my friend Timmy is soloing, because I don't want to compete sound-wise with him, so I want to bring down my volume and how much I'm participating while still giving him the rhythm. So I do really... Isn't she lovely? solo, I go back to full ringing strumming. And that way, I'm able to add variety in the same song. And I wanted to do a 12-bar blues with you, so we'll wrap up with the 12-bar blues. So 12-bar blues in the key of A, we're going to have A7. Delta 7, D7. Back to Alpha 7. E7. Delta 7. Alpha 7. And Echo 7. So let me write this down real quick so that you can go ahead and grab a notebook. You have time. Grab a notebook, grab a pen, pencil, grab anything that you need to write a 12-bar blues. Each one of these will have 4 beats. So, Jenna, if you're watching, I have the notepad you gave me years ago. Thank you for that. Hey, that was sweet. The 12-bar blues. So we're gonna do A7 for 4 bars to start. And then Delta 7, and back to A7. And then Echo 7, Delta 7, Alpha 7, Echo 7. And there you have your 12 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Those are supposed to be 7s. They might not look like 7s. So your first 4 bars are Alpha 7. The next line is Delta, Delta, Alpha, Alpha. Amarvir Singh. I'm from Canada. Last month, got my first ukulele. Came across your channel, started learning. I am finding it difficult while strumming. I think it's a 5-day strumming challenge on my, let me see if it's on my main feed. If you go to, yes. Okay, let me show you. Well, everybody's kind of writing their 12-bar blues. So if you go to my page here and scroll down to how to strum the ukulele for beginners, it's a 5-day challenge. And I recommend that. I recommend that for learning how to strum. And then after you've done that one, take the how to strum and sing challenge. And that will also help you. We focus on one song for 4 days. And that one song, we learn how to place the strum and the lyrics at the same time. So those are 2 challenges for you to take if you have a difficult time. Okay, so 12-bar blues. Hope you have it. Let me know if you do in the chat, please. Thank you. Karen is adding the challenges for you. Yeah, that Learn How to Strum challenge has been so successful. Like 218,000 have started it. 60,000 have done all 5 days. So that's pretty cool. Okay, Steve's got it. Steve of Washington. Hi. Amarvir. I like your name. Okay, so let's try just down, down, up, down, up, okay? Those are the chords for Sleepy Leopard Blues. Cool. Here we go. 1. Oh, okay. I was wondering if that was you, Steve. Here we go. 1, 2, 12-bar blues. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Delta 7, Alpha 7. Last line. Echo. Delta. Start talking about your problems, right? That's the blues. So right now we just had a very open strum. All the strings are ringing. How do we add a mute to this to make it is fun? I like doing this. I'll show you right now. open so that everyone knows it's time to turn around. 12-bar blues comes in very handy when you're walking and playing each day for fun. 500 miles. Jim, what is that camino called? Is it Camino de Compostela? Jim just did that insane 500-mile walk, the pilgrimage that people do in Europe. Let us know. Camino de Santiago. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So awesome. It works with should I stay or should I go? So let me give you that strum that I like to do, and this will be your homework for the week. By the way, this lesson on left hand muting is thanks to the people who were here live watching asking questions. So if you have a question that can turn into a lesson, please ask it now. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay. So those of you who've been coming to my music rhythm lessons, which we have another one Wednesday on the Patreon community, we've been talking a lot about always counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and if your hand is moving, the numbers are on the down strum and the ands are on the up strum. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so mute everything, rest your hand over everything. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 1 and 2 and 3 and so then you're going to let the note ring or tighten on these two places. And it's not an easy strum. That's why I'm telling you, take it with you for this week. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3. That's what I like doing when I do blues with friends. And blues is usually something that someone is soloing over. So for me, adding that mute, make sure that I keep rhythm that they can play over, but I'm not overpowering the soloist. Sounds like the beginning of a virgin. Yes, of Like a Virgin. Yeah. What is the key? The key for Like a Virgin? Does it matter where you strum, like neck versus sound hole? No, it doesn't. I tend to strum on the fretboard because I'm trying to show it, but I'm a big fan of this sweet spot right here, where the body and the fretboard meet. And that last line is very tricky to mute. So if you don't mute the last line, it's fine. If you are very strict with yourself and you want to mute that last line, well, we have the E7 and the D7. I'll give you one final recommendation. Go to frets 4, 4, 4, 5. That's E7. Slide like a cool cat to 2, 2, 2, 3. And then your A. Is the blue outline rectangle? That's where you would let the note ring. So that's where you want to let go or mute everything else, I should say. Let me write which ones to mute. Mute, 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 mute. Thank you, Trisha, for asking those questions. Ring, mute, mute, ring, mute, 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 ring, mute, mute, ring, mute, 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 mute. Mute is to stop the vibration, right? And yeah, I'm live on YouTube this time, every time for the month of July. For the month of August, I'm not sure because I'm going to be recording the 30 videos for the 30-day YouTube challenge and editing. I always have wanted to be ahead of it, and every year I just don't get ahead of it, and it's like a marathon. So this year I want to be really good about recording and editing everything in August. Thank you, Ellie. So let's try it. You can do the regular one, or you can try the one I've given you. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, A7. Delta. Alpha. Pause. Try going to the 4-4-4-5. That's echo. Delta. Alpha. All right, take that strumming pattern with you and work on it. If not, work on the jazz strum. Actually, that sounds pretty cool. Try this blues on a jazz strum. Yeah, have fun with this mute, you know, just have fun. Start adding it to the songs that you already know and love, even if it's Baby Shark. Like, just try it on anything, and that will develop a new set of skills. Thank you so much for watching today. If I'm gonna update all the links in the description box as soon as I upload this one. And yeah, keep in touch. Join the Patreon fam to join our rhythm challenge right now. And I hope to see you at the LA Uke Fest. If you can't come to the LA Uke Fest, then come to Strum in the Desert, my in-person event, next February. Alrighty, take care. Oh, hi from the Netherlands. Hi. Take care. Ciao, ciao. Have fun. Bye.